Chosen ones, can you feel it? A subtle stirring in the atmosphere, like a whisper in your soul that refuses to be silenced. It's the call of something extraordinary, the quiet insistence that there's a secret you've been overlooking far too long. If you've felt restless, longing for a breakthrough that always seems just out of reach, then this message is your lifeline. Your spirit already knows the truth. You've been ignoring a hidden key to your own miracle, and it's time to reclaim what's rightfully yours. Picture the miraculous power you've read about in ancient stories, a power that heals the sick, parts the seas, and brings light where darkness seemed permanent. Now imagine that this same power has been waiting for you all along, tucked away in a corner of your heart. Day after day, you might sense it tapping on your consciousness, but life's noise keeps drowning it out. The bills, the deadlines, the heaviness of disappointment. All of it conspires to make you forget just how limitless you really are. And yet here you are, drawn to these words by a force you can't quite name, but can definitely feel. This is no coincidence. Divine appointments rarely look dramatic on the surface, but deep down, your soul recognizes a pivotal moment when it arrives. It's as though an invisible hand has arranged all the circumstances of your life, your triumphs, your failures, your doubts, and your hopes, so they converge right now at this threshold of possibility. Today you stand on the brink of stepping into a miracle, the kind of transformation that people talk about for generations. The only question is, will you accept this invitation? For those who've always sensed they were different, who've never quite fit neatly into society's mold, take heart. That difference isn't a flaw, it's your sign that you were chosen for something higher. Being set apart often means you walk roads others wouldn't dare take, roads that shaped you in ways you can't fully understand yet. But be assured those struggles weren't random. They were preparing you to carry a blessing that's too large for the ordinary path. They were forging an inner strength, a resilience that won't crumble under pressure. What is this secret you've been ignoring? It's the truth of your own divine authority. You're not here to beg the universe for breadcrumbs of blessings. You're here to co-create, to step boldly into the role of a chosen soul who commands mountains to move in faith. That might sound radical, but the most miraculous things in life often do. If you've been waiting for permission to believe bigger, let this be your green light. The time for small prayers and timid dreams is over. You are a vessel for far more power and grace than you've ever dared to imagine. Are you ready to activate that power? If so, make your stand visible right now by typing 777 in the comments. This single act might seem simple, but it's an outward declaration of an internal shift. When you type those numbers, you're saying to the universe, I'm done hiding my brilliance. I'm ready to embrace my rightful inheritance. And just watch how swiftly the universe responds. Once you align your words and actions with your divine mission, doors that have been sealed for ages will begin to swing wide open. Yes, there will be skeptics and naysayers. There always are when someone dares to break free from mediocrity. You might even question yourself, is this real? Or who am I to claim such power? But that's precisely where faith comes in. Faith is not a passive feeling, it's a choice you make again and again. Every time doubt shows its face, you meet it with an unwavering certainty that your life holds a sacred purpose. It's the inner fire that grows brighter each time you speak truth to your fears. I was chosen for this. I will not be intimidated by my own potential. Think of the countless stories where ordinary people stepped into realms of impossibility. David facing Goliath, Esther risking her life to save her people, countless unnamed heroes who believed in miracles that defied all odds. Their secret? They refused to see themselves as merely human. They recognized a divine thread woven into their existence. enabling them to transcend every limitation. Today, you're invited to join that lineage, to become another testimony of what happens when a willing heart unites with unstoppable faith. Many of you have felt stuck, as though your prayers bounce off an invisible ceiling. But ask yourself, have you truly believed you could receive what you were asking for? Or have you been praying with your mouth while your heart was weighed down by disbelief? This is the moment to break that cycle. Lift your prayers to a higher vibration, one that proclaims, I know my miracle is not just possible, it's already on its way. When you pray like that, heaven moves on your behalf. Situations shift, people show up at just the right time, and resources materialize out of thin air. But don't just take my word for it. Dare to test this power in your own life. Set your intention clearly and watch how quickly the universe echoes back. It might come as a sudden stroke of insight, an unexpected message from someone you barely know, or a series of coincidences so aligned they force you to acknowledge a higher orchestration at work. Once you experience even a glimpse of this, your life will never be the same. You'll understand that miracles aren't rare gifts reserved for a select few. They're the natural outcome for those who live in alignment with their soul's calling. If fear arises, remember that fear is only a distortion of truth. It whispers that you're unworthy or unprepared, but that's the opposite of what the universe has been telling you from day one. You are not here to live by fear. You're here to awaken the dormant power that's been calling you out of your comfort zone. Each time you push past fear, you expand the territory of your faith, making room for even greater miracles to unfold. Let's speak frankly about miracles for a moment. A miracle isn't always a dramatic spectacle. Sometimes it's the subtle yet profound shift in your mindset that allows you to see opportunities where there used to be only obstacles. Other times, it's the healing of a wound you thought would scar you for life. Or it might be an elevation in your financial landscape, where out of nowhere provision meets your every need. However it looks, recognize it for what it is, a manifestation of your rightful inheritance, as someone chosen by a power greater than any limitation. You might wonder why this message is coming now, when you've been trudging through trials that seem unending. It's because you're finally ripe for the breakthrough. Trials have a way of refining us. They scrape off the layers of doubt and apathy that accumulate over time, bringing us to a place where we're desperate enough to believe in the impossible. And in that desperation, there's a purity of intention that God, the universe, or however you name the divine force, can use to channel miracles. Every tear, every frustration has been building towards this crescendo of possibility. Look around you. The world is hungry for hope, lost in cycles of fear and yearning for something real. This is your chance to become a beacon. When you walk in the miraculous, you don't just change your own life, you become a catalyst for others to see that there's a higher way. You show them by your existence that faith isn't foolish. It's the foundation on which new realities are built. Imagine the ripple effect if each of us reading this steps fully into the miraculous realm. Entire communities would shift. The lost would find purpose, the sick would find healing, and the oppressed would discover freedom. That is the magnitude of what's at stake. Still, stepping into this realm requires a certain boldness. You'll have to silence the negative chatter in your mind that says, "Don't get your hopes up, or you'll only be disappointed." Those voices stem from past hurts, but your future doesn't have to be a prisoner of your past. Speak to those voices. I am no longer bound by disappointment. I embrace a new day of miracles. Every time you affirm this, you plant seeds of possibility in the soil of your reality. As these seeds take root, watch how synchronicities multiply. You'll be at the right place at the right time, meeting the right people. You'll stumble upon resources and connections that make your path smoother. Someone might call it luck, but you'll know the truth. It's alignment. When your internal faith resonates with divine purpose, the external world shifts to match that frequency. It's not magic in the theatrical sense, it's universal law at work, responding to the powerful signal your spirit is broadcasting. Now, if you feel that tingling in your heart, that rush of anticipation in your belly, I invite you again, type 7777 in the comments below. Let it be your shout of agreement. Let it ring through digital space as a testament that you are done playing small, done doubting your divine birthright. Each 777 is like a candle lit in the darkness, and as more candles ignite, the darkness stands no chance. We become a luminous wave, an unstoppable force of faith, rewriting narratives of fear and scarcity. Some may ask, why this obsession with miracles? Isn't life about being realistic? Here's the truth. Realism without faith is just a slow surrender to limitation. It's like walking with your eyes half closed, seeing only the obstacles and never the open doors. Faith, on the other hand, doesn't ignore reality, it redefines it. It acknowledges challenges but refuses to be intimidated by them. Faith says, yes, there's a mountain, but mountains can be moved. Hear this now. You were never meant to live in constant struggle, scraping by, feeling powerless against the tides of circumstance. That sense of powerlessness is a lie. You've been fed by a world that forgot how to dream. The greatest tragedy is not failure, it's never daring to try in the first place. But as you stand on the cusp of this revelation, you realize there's a force within you that can part the seas of doubt. All you need to do is step out and watch them recede. For a moment, think of the dreams you tucked away, the goals you deemed impossible. Maybe it's the book you wanted to write, the business you dreamed of launching, the relationship you've prayed would mend, whatever it is. Dust it off. Bring it back into the spotlight of your heart. Now, instead of telling yourself all the reasons it can't happen, lean into the possibility that it can. Let that possibility blossom into conviction. That's the path miracles take. They travel from the mind of faith to the realm of reality through the bridge of action. Of course, action isn't always about grand gestures. Sometimes it's as simple as making a phone call, sending an email, or reaching out to someone who can help. Other times, it's about stepping aside from the noise of daily life and finding a quiet place where you can commune with the divine. You'll be amazed at how a few minutes of intentional prayer or meditation can sharpen your clarity, resetting your vibration to one of expectancy rather than resignation. As your expectancy grows, so does your sphere of influence. People will start to notice a change in you. An unshakable calm, a joyful assurance that defies logic. Some might be intrigued, wanting to learn your secret. Others might be bothered, feeling threatened by your newfound confidence. Let them react however they will. Your mission is not to please everyone. It's to stand in the truth of who you are and the miracle that awaits your recognition. Standing firm in that truth creates a safe space for others to find their own faith when they're ready. If you've read this far, that tells me you're more than curious. You're hungry for transformation, and that hunger is a gift. It's the catalyst that propels you beyond your comfort zone. People who are satisfied with the status quo rarely experience the supernatural. It's those who yearn for more, who dare to believe their life can be greater than what they see, who open the door to miracles. Consider this your official permission to yearn, to long, and to push the boundaries of what you once thought possible. Yet, a gentle reminder, stepping into the miraculous doesn't mean a life free from challenges. It means a life where challenges can't steal your hope. You'll face obstacles, but you'll also harness a power that dissolves them. You'll encounter problems, but you'll receive insights that turn problems into stepping stones. You'll deal with heartbreak, but you'll discover a source of healing that mends you more deeply than you ever thought possible. The difference is not the absence of hardship, it's the presence of a force that guarantees victory in the end. Now, feel the electricity in the air. That surge you sense is the birth of a new chapter, your chapter. The old limitations are peeling away, replaced by a sense of destiny that compels you forward. Let the momentum carry you, but also nurture it. Feed it daily with affirmations of faith, with declarations that your miracle is not a distant dream, but an unfolding reality. Keep your mind aligned with possibility, your heart open to love, and your spirit attuned to divine whispers. This secret you've been ignoring, it's the key that unlocks the door to a life beyond limits. A life where miracles are not the rare exception, but a natural manifestation of your purposeful existence. You didn't stumble upon this message by chance. You were summoned, invited to step into a realm where your dreams coexist with divine orchestration. Let no one steal that knowledge from you. Guard it as a precious treasure, for in it lies the power to transform not only your life, but the lives of those you touch. Type 777 if you're ready to own this truth, if you're done accepting mediocrity as your fate. Type it as a statement that your miracle awaits, and you will no longer turn a blind eye to it. Type it so that every force in the universe hears your declaration, I refuse to ignore my destiny for another moment. And as your fingers strike the keys, feel the weight of that intention settle into your spirit, because once you declare it, once you choose it, the miracle can't help but rush in to meet you. Take a moment now to envision what life would look like if you fully embraced this truth. Picture yourself waking up with a sense of assurance so strong that doubt no longer finds a foothold in your mind. Imagine a day unfolding in which every task, every interaction, and every thought is guided by the quiet certainty that you carry the seeds of miracles within you. That kind of day isn't just possible, it's beckoning you to live it. And once you taste that level of freedom, you'll never settle for the cramped confinement of unbelief again. You'll notice something interesting when you decide to walk in this dimension of faith. The world around you won't necessarily change in an instant, but your perception of it will. Situations that used to intimidate you will become opportunities for growth. People who used to drain you will either fade out or be transformed by the positivity you radiate. Doors that stayed shut for years will open, not because your circumstances demanded it, but because your energy and conviction created a pathway where none existed before. Yet, let's be real about the process. Stepping into a realm of miracles doesn't automatically solve every challenge overnight. Sometimes, you'll have to hold onto your faith through seasons of apparent delay. In those moments, impatience might whisper that nothing's happening, that you're chasing illusions. But look deeper. Often the greatest transformations happen beneath the surface, like seeds germinating in the dark soil before they ever break through. The universe might be aligning people, resources, and timing in ways you can't perceive yet. Your role is to remain steadfast, refusing to dig up the seed just because you don't see immediate sprouts. This is where perseverance becomes your ally. True faith doesn't crumble when results aren't instant. It digs in its heels and says, I trust the process, even when I can't see the progress. Each time you choose to trust rather than cave in, you strengthen your spiritual muscles, and that strength becomes the fertile ground for even bigger miracles in the future. Think of it like building spiritual endurance. Each test you pass prepares you for a more extraordinary level of breakthrough. Of course, some might question your new outlook. They might accuse you of living in fantasy or label you as irrationally optimistic. That's okay. Let them talk while you continue to do the work of believing. Let your life bear the fruit of a faithful perspective. Eventually, even the skeptics might come around when they see undeniable evidence of blessings and transformations in your life. There's nothing more convincing than a person who walks their talk, whose results speak louder than any critique. Another key to unlocking miracles is gratitude. When you're thankful, you affirm that you've already received favor, even before you see it manifest. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's possible, creating a magnetic field of positivity. It tells the universe, I'm ready to handle more, because someone who appreciates what they have can be trusted with greater abundance. Take a few moments each day to reflect on what's going well, even if it's something small, like a kind word from a friend or a sign of progress toward your goals. Over time, you'll see how those small moments accumulate into a lifestyle of continual blessing. If you're still wrestling with doubt, start small. Test the waters. Ask for a sign or a minor breakthrough that seems feasible but not trivial. When it appears, recognize it for what it is, confirmation that you're tapping into something real. Each confirmed sign builds your confidence, expanding your capacity to believe for bigger miracles. It's like leveling up in a game. Once you master the basics, you're prepared for more complex challenges. As your capacity grows, be mindful of your words. Words carry incredible creative power. When you speak fear, you give it form. When you speak faith, you catalyze miracles. This is not about denying reality, but about choosing which reality you empower. Look at your daily conversations. Are you complaining, criticizing, or expressing doubt? Try replacing those patterns with declarations of hope and possibility. It might feel awkward at first, as though you're putting on new shoes. But persist, and soon you'll notice how changing your words shifts your attitude, your environment, and ultimately your outcomes. Also consider the company you keep. If you surround yourself with constant negativity, it becomes more challenging to maintain a mindset of miracles. Seek out those who, like you, believe in greatness yet to be revealed. Find friends or mentors who stretch your vision, who celebrate your successes without jealousy. Be the kind of friend who lifts others up, who listens without judgment, and who speaks life into discouraged hearts. This reciprocal encouragement forms a powerful support network that can sustain your faith when circumstances test your resolve. Now, some of you might feel a stirring to take bigger leaps, maybe to pursue a calling you've postponed for years, or to make a bold move in your career, or to reach out to someone you've wronged. That stirring is part of the miracle. Miracles aren't just external events, they're also internal shifts that prompt you to do what once felt impossible. Listen to those prompts. Act on them. Even if you don't see a clear path, trust that the ground will form beneath your feet as you step out. This is how you partner with the divine. You do your part in the natural, and the supernatural meets you halfway. Every leap you take becomes a testimony for others who are stuck on the edge of fear. They'll watch you, curious about how you found the courage to jump. And if they see you soar instead of crash, you'll ignite a spark in them. That's how a single miracle can multiply into a cascade of breakthroughs across entire communities, families, and even nations. Think of it as a chain reaction of faith, triggered by your decision to stop ignoring the secret that's been nudging your heart all along. Yet, remember that this journey is deeply personal. No two miracle stories look the same, because no two souls carry the exact same purpose. Avoid the trap of comparison. Just because someone else's miracle manifested differently or faster doesn't invalidate the uniqueness of your path. Comparison is a thief of joy and a snare of insecurity. Celebrate other people's victories, knowing your own is shaped perfectly for you. Trust the timing of your destiny, for it is orchestrated by a wisdom far beyond human comprehension. You might also encounter spiritual opposition, moments when external events seem orchestrated to discourage you, just as you start stepping out in faith. Recognize that as a sign you're on the right track. Darkness often intensifies its efforts when you're about to enter a major breakthrough. Stand firm. Lean on the power of prayer, affirmations, or whatever spiritual armor resonates with you. The more intense the pushback, the greater the triumph on the other side. Let resistance be your confirmation that something monumental is unfolding. Let's talk about the power of visualization. When you close your eyes and vividly imagine your desired outcome, feeling the emotions, smelling the scents, hearing the sounds, you engage your mind in a rehearsal of success. Your brain and spirit interpret these images as if they're already real, paving neurological pathways that make the manifestation more feasible. You're essentially training your entire being to align with the reality you're inviting in. This isn't daydreaming, it's proactive co-creation with the forces that shape your life. Give yourself permission to dream big and to immerse in those dreams wholeheartedly. Even in the realm of finances, which many people see as fixed or rigid, miracles can abound. Debts can vanish in unexpected ways. Opportunities for income can surface from directions you never considered. Generosity you once believed impossible becomes not only possible but joyful. Money, after all, is just another form of energy. When you treat it as a tool to further your purpose rather than an idol or a source of stress, you open the door for financial resources to flow more abundantly. Aligning your financial life with your spiritual calling is one of the most liberating miracles you can experience. And remember, you're not meant to hoard these blessings just for yourself. Part of the miracle is your ability to bless others. Pay it forward, whether through financial support, emotional encouragement, or sharing your story to uplift those around you. When you become a conduit for good, the cycle of blessing perpetuates. The universe pours more into you because it trusts you'll let it flow outward, multiplying the impact. This is how entire communities get transformed, by individuals who understand that miracles are contagious when shared. So where do you go from here? The first step is to make a commitment to yourself and to the divine. That commitment might look like a whispered prayer, "I'm ready for my miracle, lead me." Or it might be the deliberate act of typing 777 in the comments below, signaling you're done with a life of settling and half measures. From that commitment, move forward in faith each day. Wake up with expectancy in your heart. Go to bed recounting the small and large blessings you encountered. Over time, you'll realize that what you once called small blessings are actually stepping stones that carry you into ever greater wonders. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Too often, people postpone action until they feel 100% sure of success. But miracles don't require perfect circumstances. They thrive in surrendered hearts and bold spirits. Even if you feel 51% sure, that's enough to start. Faith can take that 1% advantage over doubt and transform it into unstoppable momentum. Sometimes the leap of faith is what creates the very conditions you were waiting for. Trust that the path will unveil itself as you walk. Consider also the legacy you're building. Life isn't just about the here and now, it's about the ripple effects you leave for those who come after you. Whether you have children or simply influence the people in your sphere, your embrace of miracles sets a precedent. You're telling the next generation, impossible is nothing more than a word. How would the world look if more of us believed that? Wars might end, breakthroughs in science and technology might flourish, and compassion could become the norm instead of the exception. Lofty dreams, yes, but they're dreams rooted in the tangible power of faith. Finally, release any lingering guilt or shame from past failures. We've all stumbled and made mistakes that seemed insurmountable, but your past does not dictate your future. The door to your miracle stands open, regardless of how many times you fell short yesterday. Each sunrise is a fresh invitation to step into the limitless, and each time you choose to accept that invitation, you rewrite your story in a way that glorifies the resilience of the human spirit and the boundless mercy of the divine. You might find tears welling up now, sensing a weight lifting from your shoulders as you realize you don't have to earn the miraculous by sheer force of will. It's already been extended to you, waiting for your simple yet profound yes. Let those tears flow if they come, tears of release, tears of relief, tears of new beginnings. They're part of the cleansing that happens when your spirit aligns with truth. In this very moment, a cosmic chorus is rooting for you. Angels, ancestors, guides, whatever you believe in, are leaning in, eager to see you rise into the fullness of your calling. Feel that support wrapping around you like a warm embrace. You're not alone. You never were. Sometimes you just needed the reminder that you have permission to believe in bigger things than your eyes can see. So take that permission, hold it close, and step forward. Let today be the day you refuse to ignore this secret any longer. Let it be the day you proclaim, "My miracle is not a fantasy, it's unfolding right now." And when you lay your head on the pillow tonight, reflect on the subtle shifts already taking place. You might be amazed at how quickly your reality responds to a heart that's fully convinced of its own sacred power. Feel the quiet hush of possibility that settles around you now. It's that delicate moment right before a dawn breaks, where all creation holds its breath. In such moments, your heart may beat faster, as if it recognizes that something sacred is on the verge of unfolding. You stand on a threshold of choices. Will you lean into this emerging light, or step back into the shadows of old limitations? Every fiber of your being calls you forward, gently yet insistently, reminding you that you did not come this far to retreat. Listen closely to the rhythm of your own pulse, noticing how it synchronizes with an unseen cosmic heartbeat. There's a sense of orchestration here, a divine choreography in which you play a starring role. You might have doubted your worth in the past, questioned whether you truly mattered in the grand tapestry of life. Yet, right here and now, that tapestry is incomplete without your thread. No other soul can replicate the resonance of your unique gift. Embrace that truth like a key in your hand, prepared to unlock doorways only you can enter. Perhaps you've held back because of past failures. Moments when you reached for something big and it slipped from your grasp, leaving you feeling unworthy of the miraculous. But consider how, even in your moments of struggle, the universe never disqualified you. Every obstacle was a lesson, every setback a gentle nudge steering you to deeper wisdom. Even your tears were not wasted. They watered the seeds of compassion sprouting within. Far from being evidence of your inadequacy, these trials have shaped you into a vessel more ready than ever to hold the blessings that await. By now, you sense that the miracle you seek isn't just about fixing a problem or getting a single wish granted. It's about a fundamental shift in how you see yourself and your place in the world. It's the unveiling of an identity rooted in love, purpose, and boundless potential. When you truly grasp this new identity, even the smallest tasks radiate with significance. A simple conversation becomes a doorway to healing. A mundane chore transforms into an act of sacred service. You realize that the miraculous is woven into the fabric of everyday life, waiting for someone bold enough to recognize it. So how do you stay in tune with this heightened awareness? One way is to cultivate daily rituals that anchor your faith. For some, it might be journaling intentions each morning. For others, lighting a candle and reflecting on gratitude before bed. Find a practice that resonates with your spirit, something you can do consistently, even if it's just 5 minutes a day. Over time, these sacred routines become pillars that hold you steady when life's winds blow fiercely. They also serve as signals to your subconscious that you are committed to living from a place of divine partnership. Expect surprises. The more you open yourself to miracles, the more you'll find them in unexpected places. You might be driving down the road when a sudden burst of clarity fills your mind, a solution to a lingering problem, or a new perspective that dissolves worry in an instant. Or you could be on the verge of giving up, When a long-lost friend messages you out of nowhere, offering exactly the encouragement you needed. The patterns will become too compelling to dismiss as coincidence, each one a breadcrumb leading you closer to the fullness of your destiny. In this journey, patience and persistence walk hand in hand. Patience reminds you that not all dreams blossom overnight. Some need time to germinate, to develop roots that can support their eventual grandeur. Persistence ensures that you continue to water those dreams, even when they're invisible beneath the soil. Together, they form the backbone of unwavering faith, faith that holds steady whether the sky is clear or storm clouds gather. When you carry such faith, you become unshakable, for your hope is no longer tied to immediate outcomes, but anchored in the certainty that your miracle will arrive in its perfect season. Your relationships might also shift under this new paradigm. People close to you will notice a radiance, a quiet confidence that wasn't there before. Some will celebrate it, drawn to your glow like moths to a flame. Others may resist, fearful that your transformation highlights their own stagnation. Love them anyway. Offer acceptance and patience. Sometimes, seeing your gentle steadfastness will be exactly what their spirit needs to break free from self-imposed limitations. In this sense, your miracle doesn't just belong to you. It ripples outward, extending grace to everyone in your orbit. If you have the chance, share your stories of smaller miracles as they happen, whether on social media, in a journal, or in personal conversations. Telling these stories out loud solidifies them in your own heart and inspires those who listen. It builds a community of hope in a world that often glorifies cynicism. Each time you recount how a door opened when you least expected it, or how a burden you carried suddenly lifted, you reinforce the frequency of belief in those around you. This collective reinforcement can create a powerful synergy, making it easier and more natural for the next wave of miracles to manifest. It's also important to guard your mind against the barrage of negativity that can saturate the media and our cultural conversations. While it's wise to stay informed, be vigilant about how much doom and gloom you absorb. Balance the harsh realities of the world with deliberate focus on what is uplifting, empowering, and solution-oriented. Spend more time feeding your spirit than fueling your anxiety. Immerse yourself in inspirational material, whether it's books, podcasts, or gatherings where like-minded people gather to celebrate life's possibilities. This mental discipline keeps you aligned with the frequency of miracles rather than the frequency of despair. You may already sense a shift happening within, a softening of your heart combined with a strengthening of your will. That's the sweet spot where the miraculous thrives. When your heart is open and your will is resolute, you become a conduit for divine flow. Emotions like jealousy, bitterness, or anger can't survive in this atmosphere because they're incompatible with the higher vibrations you're embodying. Should those emotions try to creep back, you'll catch them sooner, transmute them faster, and return to your center with newfound clarity. Don't be surprised if you feel an urge to reconcile old wounds or extend forgiveness you once thought impossible. Miracles often sweep through our personal histories, urging us to let go of grudges and regrets that weigh us down. Releasing these burdens makes more space for joy. It's a kind of spiritual decluttering, an emotional housekeeping that frees you from the clutter of past hurts. And as you clear that inner space, you create room for blessings beyond anything you've previously imagined. Sometimes the next step is as simple as saying yes to an opportunity that scares you a little. Maybe it's taking a course to develop a skill you've always admired, or standing up for yourself in a situation where you used to remain silent. Small acts of bravery accumulate into a grand mosaic of transformation. Each time you conquer a fear, you reclaim a piece of your power and demonstrate to the universe that you're serious about living in alignment with your true identity. Indeed, living in your true identity is what this entire journey is about. It's not about chasing miracles as if they're random gifts tossed down from the sky. It's about realizing that miracles are a natural extension of who you are when you stand fully in your divine spark. It's about walking hand in hand with a presence that speaks hope over your life. And from that posture, everything changes: your relationships, your finances, your health, your creativity, and your sense of peace. You find a stillness in your soul that no external chaos can disrupt, because it flows from a wellspring deeper than circumstance. Reflect on those who came before you. Ancient heroes, modern visionaries, everyday saints. Each one had to take their own leap of faith. None of them were guaranteed success at the outset, yet they dared to believe in the vision burning in their hearts. And for many, the outcome was beyond their wildest imagining. Their stories aren't meant to be relics of the past. They're alive and beckoning you to carve your own chapter in the annals of wonder. Their testimonies whisper, "Why not you? Why not now?" So when the day feels long or the nights echo with doubt, keep your eyes lifted to the horizon of what could be. Remind yourself that you are an active participant in the symphony of life. Each note you play contributes to the overall harmony. Choose to make your note resonate with faith, joy, and an unwavering expectancy of good. Even if a sour note slips in occasionally, don't let it derail the entire masterpiece. Recalibrate, reset, and keep playing. That's how you turn a temporary misstep into a glorious crescendo.